What happens when the Avengers and the Fantastic Four find themselves on opposite sides of a brand new galactic war that threatens to swallow up the entire universe? Well, you call it Marvel's brand new event, Empyre. I'm Cave Joel, and join me, won't you, as we take a closer look at Empyre issue number 1 and see what it's all about. So then, this issue actually takes place directly after the events of the special prelude issue, Empyre Fantastic Four issue number 0. At the end of that story, the Richards family were making their way back to Earth following the liberation of 2 alien child soldiers, 1 Kree and 1 Skrull. Unfortunately, their trip back to Earth was stalled when they ran smack dab in front of a giant armada, the brand new Kree-Skrull Empyre armada to be exact. Fearing the worst, Reed and Sue decide to send their children, Franklin and Valeria, back to Earth in the escape craft along with the 2 kids. Want to know where that story went? Well, be sure to pick up Fantastic Four issue number 21 that also came out this week. Wolverine and Spider-Man are in it. With the kids safely away, Sue decides to work some of her invisible magic to get the rest of the team aboard the ship. Unfortunately for her, Kl'rt the Super Skrull is in there. And because his own powers are based on that of the Fantastic Four, he's able to see through the illusion. It's here the Richards family end up coming face to face with the brand new King of Space, the Emperor of this new allied force, and it's a familiar face. It's young Avenger Hulkling. Teddy actually makes a lot of sense to be the figurehead leader of this new group. Keep in mind, his father was the legendary Kree war hero Captain Mar-Vell, and his mother was a Skrull princess. Now back over with the Avengers, where we left them at the end of their own tie-in, we see that Tony Stark is readying all of his friends for war with the incoming fleet. The Avengers, having allied themselves with Sokovia of the plant race known as the Cotati, once destroyed by the Kree, but who are now striking back with a vengeance and hoping to turn that special place on the moon in the Marvel Universe where people can breathe into a lush garden for the entire universe to enjoy. The good guys decide to let Carol Danvers do the talking, which makes a lot of sense given her military experience and her long-standing history with the Kree, though negotiations quickly end up breaking down, but not for the reason you think they do. You see, Emperor Hulkling here says that he trusts Hanalath the Pursuer and Kl'rt the Super Skrull in their belief that the Cotati need to be destroyed. Tony Stark and the rest of the Avengers, and even Mr. Fantastic, don't handle this well, treating Hulkling like a real kid and talking down to him. Even though, to hear Teddy tell it, all he did was raise a special sword above his head and stop 2 warring races from warring. And speaking of warring, that's pretty much exactly what happens next. Hulkling dispatches his considerable forces, including the Super Skrull and even Captain Glory, who's probably one of my favorite designs in all of Marvel Comics. The Avengers fire back with the biggest guns they have, Robbie Ray as the Ghost Rider even getting a super cool moment wherein he turns the Quinjet into a Hell Quinjet. Black Panther, who is also no stranger to space combat or battles with the Super Skrull, also gets a chance to shine here, including a brand new awesome set of Panther armor. Like T'Challa even twists the knife in a little on old Kl'rt, saying that the Super Skrull he knew was a proud leader, a bit of a jackass, but a proud leader nonetheless, and now he's willing to sit in the background and do a kid's dirty work. Naturally, Super Skrull fires back by saying that he cares more about the well-being of the Kree than any Earthman could ever possibly understand. All of this space dogfighting, though, proves to be a distraction. Once again, Iron Man feels that he's concocted the perfect plan, but for this, he's going to need Thor and that great hammer throwing arm of his. Once again, Ewing does an excellent job remembering that so many people on the Avengers are actual kings themselves right now, including Thor, who had become All-Father in his own book. The God of Thunder vows to show Hulkling just how heavy is the head that wears the crown, or in this case, heavy is the arm that bears the hammer, as Thor manages to totally penetrate the mothership with Mjolnir, but it's not just Mjolnir. Iron Man was sure to attach a virus device to it, which he uses to cripple the Kree-Skrull fleet. Again, makes a lot of sense when you consider the Avengers have been fighting these 2 alien races since forever, so naturally Iron Man would know how their tech works. No one is dead, but the massive fleet is stranded with nowhere to go, and you're probably thinking, wow, the bad guys were defeated in issue 1, this is gonna be a short event. Well, you're not totally right. You'll remember back in my Avengers prologue issue, I noticed that the Cotati were acting kinda suspicious, and well, it turns out that this whole thing was part of a much bigger ploy by Sokovia and the Cotati to get revenge on the Kree and Skrull for their war crimes against them. You see, Sokovia Sequoia, who has donned a cool Mayan-inspired costume, wasn't just growing pretty flowers here in his garden, he was also growing weapons, special flowers that increase the strength of his people. And he says that he's going to use this brand new godlike mastery over plant life to spread all across the known universe, punishing the animal races and replacing them with a garden like no other, to reach his own Empyrean, if you will, which, if you know your definition, means the highest point in heaven, which makes a lot of sense given that Sequoia was literally called a cosmic Jesus. And the true Empire of the Empire title was neither the Kree nor the Skrull, but the Cotati Empire as the comic comes to a close. And so that was Empyre issue number 1, and I gotta say I really enjoyed this issue. Yes, I saw the Sequoia and Cotati heel turn from a mile away, but when it was well executed, it was well executed. I also like the certain level of self-awareness that Al Ewing is working with in this story as Iron Man and the others say, oh, you know, finally, after all these civil wars and secret empires, a simple battle for us, good guys versus bad guys. There was also some interesting side stuff going on here, with She-Hulk actually gaining more control over her powers and her mind thanks to some Cotati meditation techniques and a new Amber Hammer. I hope we get to see this story explored more in her one-shot. The art team did really well on this one, and some of the bigger shots are really damn impressive, and Ewing, as always, does an excellent job painting a picture using the greater Marvel continuity. Overall, I feel comfortable giving this one an 8.5 out of 10, and I'm more excited now than I was before to see where this story is actually going to go.
Hey there everyone, it's your pal Cape Joel again, and if you're seeing my face right now, that means you watched to the end of the video, and I'll always be grateful for that. Retention helps in this crazy YouTube game, and so does becoming a patron. If you head on down to the description, you can find a link to my Patreon page. Recently just redid all the tiers, a lot of cool stuff offering up there, exclusive commentaries, exclusive polls, behind the scenes concept art for Capes and Quest, that's the brand new D&D show I've started soon. Never been a better time to become a patron. You can become a patron for as little as $1 a month and help the channel grow, and, you know, help me continue to deliver content like what you just saw. So I want to thank you all, and I will see you again next time. Bye-bye.